So, this is something that I have to go in on right now, because I'm grieving and I'm hurting, and it's just important for me to talk about this right now. I recently found out about the passing of Richard Parrot, and I just want you to know that although I only got to spend a few days and nights with him in this life, I loved him, and I know that you did too, and I know that you're hurting like I am, and I know it doesn't make sense, and I know it sucks, but I just want you all to know that whatever solace this can bring, that I do believe that he's in a better place now, just like my mother and everyone that's gone before us. I still believe this world is beautiful and that the best days are ahead of us, but I just want you to know that I'm offering free grief support in honor of Richard. And how I'm going to do this is, if you would like to, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to tell a story, my favorite story about him, and in the comment threads below, I would ask that you would share your favorite story about him. But I'm also going to be offering to those that want it free grief support via Zoom. And we can just have conversations about Richard and talk about our boy Parrot and cry together and laugh together and celebrate his life. I just think that with all the joy and happiness going on right now in my life, I can't ignore how much this hurts. And so, I will, I'll share my favorite story live right now, unplanned. As I looked at my phone, it was 3:16 on the video. Tell me Jesus ain't real. So, it's the first day I ever met Parrot. I was in charge of a bachelor's party that, it was a shit show. It was hard to set up, and there was a lot of issues. There was a lot of drama. But anyways, we ended up getting the perfect crew for this bachelor party, and we were taking a road trip to Charlotte, North Carolina to watch the Miami Hurricanes, play the Clemson Tigers in a bowl game that year. And we actually ran into Michael Irvin. But without getting off topic, on the car ride up, we passing around the vodka and passing around the herb, and we had a designated driver who was phenomenal. The entire time he dealt with all of our crap. And so after a long night of, that night we arrived in Charlotte, we ended up going out after drinking and smoking the whole entire way up there, and we partied some more. And then the next day and this is my favorite part of the story. The next day, we needed to recover because we had some things to do. Mainly, I think it was show up for college game day or try and make it there in one piece. Or this may have been the day after. It's kind of hazy for obvious reasons. So, anyways, we get to 7-Eleven, and just real quick before I go in on this, I just want to say that for me, Parrot, he was just such a loving guy. He just embodied love, and you felt safe around him. You felt cared for. You felt like a brother. He was such a gentle giant, and he was so loving and so caring and so kind and so funny and just so true in every sense of the word, both TRU and TRUE. And so we get to 7-Eleven, and he wants to get some Tylenol, and of course, why wouldn't we? We needed Tylenol. We were all hurting really bad. So, he gets back to the car. I obviously stayed in the car because, like, I couldn't walk for obvious reasons. Like, I can barely walk as it is now, sober, after an entire day and night of drinking. Forget about it. Anyways, so he gets back to the car, and I'm like, bro, you got Tylenol PM? And he's like, I'll be fine, monkey. It's gonna be fine. It's not a big deal. It's just Tylenol PM. And so we get back to the Airbnb, which we later got banned from for obvious reasons. And I'm chilling out back, drinking, smoking, having a good time. And I open the slider door to go back in the house to go to the bathroom, and he's out cold. Like, just sleeping. Just completely out cold. And I just broke down and started laughing hilariously because he's just sitting in the chair snoring. When, like, 30 minutes before that, he was, like, explaining to me about, and monkey is kind of one of my nicknames. It's my emoji nickname. For those of you that don't know, I kind of look like a monkey. Okay? So anyways, but, 30 minutes prior, he's explaining to me how he's got this and it ain't no thing, and he takes 2 Tylenol PMs, and he was out cold. And I'm like, there is no way that these 2 Tylenol PMs could tranquilize this bear of a dude. But anyways, that's my favorite story of him. My last memory of him, we had a party at we had a COVID party at Billy Cole's house, or where Billy stays, and it was another great time where we were just chilling in the pool and just talking to him, just hanging out with him, and just loved being around him, loved being in his presence, loved everything about him. And I'm really having a hard time right now, with his passing. And I don't even know when he passed. I don't know when the day was. I don't know if there's going to be services or anything like that. But I just want to put this out there. If there's anything that I can do beyond what I've already offered, if you need someone to give a eulogy at a service for him, for a celebration of his life, please don't hesitate to ask me. I would be more than happy to read whatever that you all would want to write or anything like that, to honor him, because not only was he a friend to me, he was a brother. And this may come as a surprise to some of you, but if you know me well enough, you know that pretty much everyone's in my family. I consider everyone in my family. And it doesn't take me long to fall in love with you. at all. And it didn't take me long to fall in love with Richard Parrott for obvious reasons. And I would do anything to have him back. And I know you would too. I would do anything to have my mother back. I know you would too. Unfortunately, all we can do is live in the moment and just grieve and mourn together, and also celebrate. Not this false type of joy that we're trying to create to mask our pain, but just celebrate all the good things that he did and that he represented and that he stood for and that he believed in. And I don't know. That's all I have to say right now. But I just want you to know that I'm here for you. And if you ever want to talk about Rich, I personally would like to get to know, I would like to know more stories about him, because just hanging out with him for 4 or 5 days, some of the best times of my life. And I'm not saying that to dramatize and try and put myself in the center of this situation, because it's not about me. It's about Richard, and it's about his life and his death and his resurrection, which has already happened, as long as it's been 72 hours since his death. He's risen in Jesus Christ. He's risen. You have my word on that, and I would never lie about that. Okay? So all my love to you. All my love to Richard. And all my love to his family. He may or may not have had a brother named Michael or a cousin named Michael that I knew. Maybe. So Michael, if you're out there and you need a friend or you need a shoulder, I'm here for you. All right, I love you guys. I need to get back to driving now, but I had to. I just couldn't. I had to get that off my chest.